anyway, this weekend, I'm all
Oh,
right.
yeah,
Not winter, but colder weather.
yeah.
So you
Sounded
gotta go
like it.
deer hunting, I guess?
He's got a
Yeah.
lot of time on his hands. He's retired now.
Damn, how come you're early?
And the stop signs on the way here.
The new ones? Some of the new ones?
Yeah.
Okay, what am I
I brought supper with me, Joe, so I
Oh, yeah,
got here early.
yeah. Big steak sandwich here.
Yeah. Nutri-Grain. That's healthy, isn't it?
Can you open it?
Probably not.
When do you do a test and see if your microphone's working? Thank you.
Testing, 1, 2, test.
Thank you. You
How
can
we doing,
leave-
everybody?
Will you turn them off, please? Thank you.
Yeah, I want people listening to our conversation. Not right now.
I hate to bother you at supper time,
Yeah,
but
I prayed.
Everybody ready? Go ahead, Sherry.
Council workshop meeting, Monday, November 6, 2023, 6 p.m. Bear, Briggs,
Here.
Coulter, Hydrich, Holtmeyer,
Here.
Patke,
here,
Reed,
yes.
Wessels. Please rise for a pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance.
I knew I missed.
Will all the committee members answer if they have or have not read the minutes of the meeting dated October 2nd, 2023? Briggs,
Yes.
Hydrich,
Aye.
Holtmeyer,
Aye.
Patke,
Yes?
Reed,
Yes.
Wessels.
Okay, need a motion to approve them.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Patke, second by Holtmeyer to approve the minutes from October. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion's passed.
Report of department heads, Communications Department, PSAP agreement.
Jennifer.
Peace.
Good evening, Council. The agreement and letter that I have for you tonight refers to the city's obligations and duties regarding the upgrade to the 911 system. It should have been included with the AT&T contract. However, the PSAPs, the municipalities didn't have everything put together yet for it. So it just outlines what our responsibilities are related to it. We own our own equipment, we maintain it. If there's any upgrades to be made, that we all get together and agree upon it so that we can have communication between all of the PSAPs in the county.
Is everybody getting pretty used to it?
We haven't even started yet. We're getting files together and a lot of equipment to install and fiber lines and things like that, so.
So when you think it'll be online?
We kind of talked about that today, and we're really not sure exactly a timeline, so.
Cool.
We're just operating under the old until they
Currently,
change it,
yes.
so it's.
That's cool.
You're still getting the service.
Yeah, oh yeah, no problem.
You want to let them know too about the Washington ambulance?
Oh, yes. We also, November 1st at 4 p.m., began dispatching Washington Ambulance, so that's going well, just aside from some minor, computer stuff that we have to, bugs to work out along the way, but everything's going well.
Nice.
No further questions, guys?
Motion to send to council.
Motion to send to council, please.
Motion to send to council.
Second.
Motion by Patke, second by Holtmeyer to send to council. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's going to council.
Engineering Department, Front Street ADA Improvements Project, Supplemental Agreement Number 1.
Good evening, Council. Yeah, so this is for our Front Street Grant Project, supplemental agreement. We didn't anticipate any right-of-way being needed, so we didn't have anything in the, an original design plan there, but we will need a few parcels for temporary construction easements and permanent easements and that sort of stuff. So they're going to put together the plans, the exhibits, all that, and then the additional stormwater improvement design down there on Front Street. So that's what this supplemental agreement's going over.
Only temporary
Temporary.
construction agreement.
I think there's a couple permanent
Just
easements
couple
as well.
permanent?
Yeah, just because there's like slivers that, aren't our property, but we're gonna go all the way to the building and stuff like that, so. But for a grant, we gotta have all those.
What's the
easements
scope
lined up.
of Front Street for them again?
What?
What's the scope of the improvements on
It's
Front Street?
from Jefferson to Stafford. It's gonna be ADA, curb and gutter, new pavement, all that brick pavers, same thing, so. Storm work.
Is it different properties that have different boundary lines, or is it the fact that we're gonna go wider in some spots than others?
Yeah, different properties have different it kind of bounces around through there, and then the sidewalks like widen out in different areas. And then
But I
a
think-
couple spots there are just gonna be temporary, like we gotta tie in to their walking path, so we gotta take one section of the path so we can tie in our ADA and stuff like that, so.
But I think what he's saying also is that, you know, if they've got existing sidewalks, some of it's ours, some of it's theirs.
Yeah.
You can't cut the line, you gotta take it out.
There are-
Oh, absolutely, I get
Yeah, there's a few of those, right? So if we were to stay right on the property line, we'd leave a 6-inch sliver against the building, you know?
Charles, what's our timeline on that project?
On Front Street, we're looking at
Construction's in
construction in 25.
25?
Yep.
Other questions? Okay, again, need a motion to send it to council.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Holtmeyer, second by Briggs. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion's approved.
Jefferson Street Road and ADA Compliance Project Supplemental Agreement Number 2.
So this agreement is to finish up right-of-way acquisition out there. We've got a few more parcels, and they've been helping us with a few of them up to this point, but kind of maxed out on our agreement so far with them, so to kind of tie everything up, finish up some of the exhibits and stuff that we needed for different property owners. That's what this agreement would cover, so.
You want to tell them how many easements we do know offhand? I mean, it's quite a bit, that's why.
50-some, yeah, I don't know the exact number. And that's a combination of actual right-of-way that we acquired and then a lot of temporary construction easements. So working with
And what's
property
the
owners.
scope on that?
When's the what?
Where to where?
Scope from 100 to,
Fifth Street, yes.
So get sidewalk?
What?
Is it sidewalk all the way or just?
Si-
part?
Sidewalk on the west side, all the way, yeah. And then we'll redo both sides as we get closer to
When you say
the existing.
exhibits, you mean some of those properties will have small retaining walls with the sidewalk, is that right?
There
No.
are no
West side,
retaining walls
not
on
really.
Jefferson. But exhibits as far as like, if we had to go back into their driveway and shape some things and do that sort of thing, and different property owners kind of, you know, in negotiating for this, you know, ask for, not like requests, I guess, but just show them on the plans, hey, this is actually what we're gonna be doing. Like, we tell them, yes, we're gonna tie this in or something, but they wanted like shown on the plan, so then we gotta come back and show them that we did put that request on the plans.
So the curb will stay basically where it is now, but we'll have a 4-foot sidewalk on the west side?
No, we're actually from 10th Street, we're actually narrowing Jefferson a little bit. Not the full 5 foot, but
Okay.
like 2 feet, 3 feet, somewhere in that range, so. To kind of get around the existing utility poles that are there, so.
Oh.
In different areas, so.
Are we narrowing Third Street also?
Are we what?
Narrowing Third Street also?
Third Street, no, staying the exact same, because we're just basically removing and replacing the sidewalk that's there, so.
And that Jefferson project, that's 24?
That should be next year, yep. That's where we're trying to get this right-of-way wrapped up, and then they already have final plans ready to go, so. Should be,
So Third Street and Jefferson Street will be going on at the same time,
yes,
roughly.
hopefully, yes.
Scott's gonna be busy.
Lot of work.
Lot of concrete, Joe.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
if I could, also within the letter that's within your packet for the ordinance, Andrea included, the city was unable to negotiate the required right-of-way from the property owners up here at Fifth and Jefferson. When John was here, remember, he talked about adding that on to this scope of work, but based upon the comments that we've gotten back from the two property owners that we have to work with, it would be, you'd have to go through condemnation if you wanted to do that. And I just, like I said, just for right now, it's not worth it to slow down the rest of the project.
And that was gonna be completely city-funded.
Yes, correct,
as
thank
well,
you.
So, it
So
wasn't
that
part of
wasn't
the
even
grant.
80-20 funded or grant funded.
So we can always apply for another grant here and.
Right, you could
try and-
apply for it at Fifth Street and take care of it at that time, and then try to go ahead and get money for right-of-way if you want to go ahead and pursue it.
So correct me if I'm wrong, there is a sidewalk now.
There's a sidewalk there, but we
won't
were
be redone.
we were talking about, no, we were talking about radius improvements.
Oh, I'm sorry.
At Fifth and
Widening out the
Jefferson.
intersection to
No.
help the turn.
Talking about radius improvements, so it's a little bit easier to navigate.
So the trucks.
So are
hitting
we
that
gonna do
corner.
any of that, or like at the library, are we gonna do any of that?
Not on part of this project, that's what we're trying to tell you, because
Okay.
what the right-of-way, what those guys wanted, how much they wanted, and just the negotiations, we can't wait any longer for the project. And like I said, we can always go back and pursue it when we apply for Fifth Street, if you really feel that that's something. And again, John added that on there back at the time to try to see what we could do to help with that, but it was all how easily we could go ahead and work with the property owners too, so.
Other questions or comments, guys? Okay. Need a motion again? Send it on.
Second.
Holtmeyer and Packey, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion's approved.
Main Street reconstruction and ADA compliance proposal and budget amendment.
So this is for our Main Street design project. We're planning on building that in '26. It'll be just like Second Street, but Main Street from Jefferson to Cedar. And then we have a budget amendment. We had, I think, 75,000 budgeted, and it came in about 95,000. But they won't, the project isn't constructed till '26, so they won't actually be spending all that money here.
We won't be billed for that 75,000.
All within
We have
the
it
fiscal
budgeted
year.
correctly, but you're technically entering into a contract. So the auditors want to see a budget amendment to cover the full cost.
Are we replacing the water line also?
Yes, as water department will be doing that in-house, so. The plan is to do the water line on Front Street and then Main Street, so.
Beautiful.
I know it's unrelated, but as we have it going on right now at Second Street, I just kind of visited that last week. Joe was down there. KJU was putting in the groundwater or stormwater.
Stormwater,
Or
yeah.
inlets.
And they thought something was broke down. I went down and checked with the water department guys, and no, we're just putting water line ahead. I'm like, it's a good feeling, I guess. Sometimes we redo all this, and then we gotta go back and tear out the street, put a water line in, but at least we're doing it in the right way now.
Yeah.
We're a block ahead of them, cutting the street out, putting it in. As they redo it, we're paving over the top, so, again, at least good timing in this case, so.
Stratford Street was a good lesson.
Stanford Street was a good lesson, right, so. Good.
It's working out, yeah.
Right.
Charles, while you're on the street thing, I guess in the paper, it was a week or two ago, they had an article in there where they were saying MoDOT's finishing up their work in the Union city limits on Highway 50. They said they're then coming up here to do Highway 100
Yep.
from 47 to South Point roughly, is what I've.
Yeah, South Point
That's
to
a MoDOT
the post
contract.
office.
Right, that's
Yeah.
MoDOT. So is any of that, if they're coming to do that in the near future, will any of that affect, some of the things we've been talking about, like at Rabbit Trail or even at South Point Road?
No.
Unfortunately, no, they got their own, and it's basically just like ADA improvements as far as I understand, like right there at the intersection. So, no widening.
No drastic widening, adding lanes or anything like that.
No.
So if,
Purely maintenance from what I understand with.
so if we are successful in getting the grant and so forth to do some of that, will we be redoing some of what they're doing?
Yes,
You could be,
yes.
but that would be 26,
27, yeah.
27.
The Rabbit Trail
Rush,
one.
you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At Rabbit Trail,
And they're looking at what, next year?
Yeah, they're looking as soon as
yeah,
50's
maybe-
done. I
looking
mean,
at now.
they'd
I
like
think
it now, but
might even start in this
Okay.
calendar year.
KJU got both those jobs and they still have to finish up 50,
Okay.
so, as they're finishing up Second Street,
The
so.
only thing that's gonna
Curious.
help in Rabbit Trail is right there where we have to fix MoDOT's potholes all the time. Rabbit Trail 100. That's the only thing that's gonna help there.
Did we ever decide where Washington Street is?
Yeah, yeah, I looked it up. It's actually Washington Crossing, so it's the post office there.
Oh,
and the
okay.
Lowe's. So it's actually the other side of 40.
MoDOT engineer the other day at the transportation meeting said it was gonna be from South Point Road to Washington Street.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, where's Washington Street? No one knew where it was at. So now we know it's at the post office.
Yeah,
Right.
Washington Crossing.
right.
Shall we have a motion to send it
So
on,
moved.
guys? Motion by Patke, second by Briggs. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Plotter and scanner purchase.
Yeah, so we've been having a lot of problems the last year with our plotter and scanner, and they advised us that they have no more updates and we should be looking into a new one. It's about 9 years old, so, which is about the life expectancy. So we got bids for that. They came in quite a bit under budget, so that's for Rotolite to give us a new large printer, so.
My only question is, it's significantly less than the other three. Is there anything that possibly was missed, or is that?
Yeah, we looked into it. I mean, I even talked with some of the other people that gave us quotes, and they were surprised by it, but, I mean, no one seemed to find anything. They just,
Okay.
just really wanted to give it to us, so.
Okay.
Motion to the council.
Motion by Patke.
Second.
Second by Briggs to move. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Semi-annual landfill groundwater monitoring program.
This is our annual contract that we do for this. It came in about the same price as it did last year, so, and they didn't even use all of that budget amount from last year, so,
Would this be our last one?
no, we still got ways to go, so,
That's good here.
yeah.
This ends May of '24, correct?
Correct.
According to the letter?
Yes.
So you've got a couple years yet.
Motion to send to council.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Briggs. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Fire Department mobile radios purchase and budget amendment.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. In your packet this evening, there's a letter and quote for mobile radios to complete out the new command vehicles. This is a budgeted item. The reason we're bringing it to council, they are a capital item, over $5,000 so in a life of over 5 years. So that's why we're bringing it to council. We are slightly over budget. I'm asking for an up to because I don't intend to plan to spend the whole amount. The bid includes additional speakers, and presently we don't have additional speakers in the Tahoe, so we might be able to cut some of that out as we go along. Looking for your approval.
What vehicles is this going in yet?
2 new command vehicles are present with the fire department ordered 2 Ford Expeditions. They're parked presently at 5th and Stafford. We're waiting for equipment to come in to outfit them, and these radios would be used in those.
Motion to send to council.
Second.
Motion by Patke, second by Holtmeyer. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
Parks Department Field Pro 6040 groomer purchase.
Evening, council. This is a purchased or a budgeted item, ball field groomer. It would be replacing a 20-year-old piece of equipment that we have now. Prices, I was able to negotiate. Prices were supposed to increase on this 2 to 3% on November 1st, and I got them to hold the current pricing, which got us just under what was budgeted of $45,000 for this piece of equipment. And so since it's 20 years newer, it does have some newer features that will allow staff to do a quicker and better job of the fields. It has a laser level on it, which will be helpful when working the fields. And then leveling bar and rake on the back of it that'll help work in the sand into the soil on the outfields. Questions?
This price includes the '04 model trade-in, correct?
Yes.
No discussion?
Quick on everybody else, I'd like to hammer you, but I'll move to council.
Second.
Thanks.
Motion by Patke, second by Holtmeyer to move it forward. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you, Wayne.
For item EA, we need a motion to table, please.
Yes, we would like, for both the water connection rates, we'd like to take that back and bring that back to you. Kevin wants to go back to Board of Public Works, and so that would also be reflected as a table on your city council agenda, but you can make that motion at that time.
I just need a motion to table, please.
Motion to table.
Second. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
I'm sorry, who was the second?
Joe.
Holtmeyer.
Who was the first?
Patke.
Thank you.
Sorry, Sherry.
Jeff.
Any other department heads would like to come up?
I thought we had something Tony wanted.
Tony?
Good
Good evening, council. We probably won't see you till the next council meeting, but I do have 3 pieces of equipment we're going to be replacing shortly. The first one is we're going to replace our old boom mower. It's a 2003. The boom mower itself is probably the worst part of it. The tractor's got some issues, so we're going to swap that out with a new one. We're going to go with a longer one from Stricker, and that's off the Sourcewell State Bid Program. That came in under budget, a couple $1,000s. We were replacing one of our brush hog mowers. It's a 2017, but I think when we bought it, I don't know, we got a lesser brand, and we just can't keep it in one piece. We keep shearing off drive shafts and things like that, so we're gonna step up to a bush hog, which is probably the heavier duty of a type. And that unfortunately came in about $5,000 over budget. So you'll see that coming up. And then finally, we are replacing our old 1999 steel wheel roller for asphalt rolling. And we looked at 3 different brands, all top-of-the-line brands. We went with the Bowmag, and it came in a couple $1,000s under budget also. So, and we'll be selling all the excess equipment on Purple Wave. So you'll see that next council meeting, hopefully. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tony.
Mayor, I wanted to ask Kevin there, if you're coming up, good. You know, with all the trees losing their foliage and so forth now, there's this monstrous thing looming out our south windows out there, and I'm wondering, can we do something about maybe painting it camo when the time comes?
Paint it like a tree?
I'm afraid that bright
Make
blue's
it look like a
gonna
tree.
be
We've already got something to be said for what that thing gets painted, so. We're not making any change. No, I'm just, whatever the council wishes.
But I was going to give you an update on that tin can out there. They got the top on it today, finally, so North Goods Mill was closed down from 9 o'clock till 2 o'clock, but we did get the top on it. So it is closed up. They still have several more weeks of welding, so it probably will sit looking that way for the winter months, and then in April they'll come back and paint it. But it will be structurally 100% complete by the end of this month. So,
And that's a 1 million gallon?
yes.
Correct.
Yes. And the water line on Second Street's going along good. Good as it can be when you inconvenience everybody inconvenience. When we do move to Main Street, that's going to be a bigger inconvenience than Front Street. So anyway, we will be moving forward on those. Just for number-wise, I'm keeping track of what this project's costing. And right now, just so everybody knows, we're sitting at about $62,000 on this project. $40,000 of it was material, though. So
To
when
put
we
the
do
water, to replace the water line.
to replace the water line from Jefferson to Cedar, yes. So it'll be the same thing on Main Street. It'll be a little bit more on Main Street. There's more connections. And then Front Street's gonna be a whole new ballgame down there, because we're sitting on 120 PSI of pressure and everything else, so it's gonna be fun, but.
Are you putting in new water stops or just, just to them?
No, we're just connecting the services back to the main. We're verifying that they're all copper and that there's no galvanized or lead, because we are under a lead inventory rule that has to be done by October 16th of '24. So we're following along with that. Downtown, we found that most of the copper downtown, which almost everything has copper, is really good copper. It hasn't deteriorated a lot, not like some of the newer stuff we have in some of our newer subdivisions. So we're not too worried about those. If we find any leaking, we replace them, but we're just going back to the connections and redoing it, so.
That includes new hydrants and shut-offs and.
Yes, the fire protection is going to improve downtown immensely, because we're taking out fire hydrants that have connection, a 4-inch connection to the fire hydrant, and we're replacing them with 6-inch connections. So the fire flow is going to improve immensely down here for everybody. So that's always a good thing when we can do that. So it's a good thing. New PVC, getting rid of a 100-year-old cast iron, so.
Real quick, Kevin, on those hydrants, color-wise, yellow, green, blue, is there a blue that's a high pressure?
Yellow is the body color. There is blue is high. There's blue, green, orange, and red. We never want to be in red. We always want to be in green, blue, yeah. Most of them, when we get down here, they're going to end up being blue. Almost every one.
But again, the blue is a high pressure one.
Yeah, yeah. 20, high flow, 2,500 gallons or more, so.
And then on Main Street, I know it's a Charles question too, but I guess we we have in our plans where we're gonna take a little bit closer look at shutting down businesses and sidewalks and things like that at a time?
Well, that's all, yeah, I mean, that's, the whole goal of this was to go ahead and start for downtown, do Second Street first. And really, the bidder asked us to go ahead and move the schedule up. We had proposed to go ahead and start the work after the Christmas season.
Right.
And so it was originally, but they came to us and said, no, that they felt that they could do it on Second Street. We understood, you know, as everybody in this room does, there's not as many businesses, obviously, on Second Street as there is on Main. So that'll be something that we'll have a closer look at when we do that on Main Street. But that was always the idea, was to go ahead and start it in January, get your concrete done, get all the water mains, that stuff done in the winter months, and then as soon as it warmed up enough for the asphalt plant to open up, do the overlay and be done.
And we'll do the same thing on Main Street. We'll try to stay a block ahead of the concrete work. That way everybody's being inconvenienced basically at one time.
You're doing a pretty good job of that now.
Right.
Yeah, we got lucky. Concrete wasn't as tough in Elm Street as we thought it was gonna be, but now between Elm and Cedar, it's gonna get rough, but that's the way it goes, so.
Merrimack gravel.
That's right.
Merrimack gravel.
That was it.
Perfect.
See?
Back from Joe's day, that's why it's a lot tougher.
Yeah, it's hard concrete.
Start painting in the closet and work your way to the living room.
Barrels back down there then.
My fault.
Hey, and I got the perfect camouflage for that.
You want me to go into executive session?
If there's not any other department heads,
Some deer around there,
any other department heads have anything?
around that tank.
Okay. Yes, we do have some items we could probably then cover in executive session. Won't have to keep you after the next meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Nope.
Public vote on whether or not to hold a closed meeting to discuss personnel, legal, or real estate matters pursuant to Section 610.021 RSMO 2000. Briggs?
Yes.
Heidrich?
Aye.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Patke?
No.
Reed? Wessels?